have you seen Star Wars?
The Mandalorian has just broken two surprising records. One was really surprising, and that is that it was the #1 show in the Nielsen rankings between December 14th and December 20th of 2020, and it beat out Netflix, every single Netflix show, including things like The Office and Grey's Anatomy, which is very surprising because I don't think Netflix has been beaten in this category in a very long time. Mainly from another streaming service. There's been other shows at Netflix that have, done better than The Office, the rankings fluctuate, but it's been a very, very, very long time since anything other than Netflix has been in the top 10 streaming video on demand services, and mainly when it comes to original content like The Mandalorian. And for Netflix, The Office isn't even original content, which I will say The Office is #1 for the entire year of 2020, but this is also surprising. The Mandalorian was number 5. Mandalorian was number 5 of the most popular streaming video on demand shows, and when it comes to streaming services like Disney Plus, that means good news. And also, this means great news for Star Wars. I'm not trying to, diss the sequel trilogy. If you like that, great. But I do think that when you compare the popularity of The Mandalorian to the popularity of the sequel trilogy, you're clearly seeing a difference, which is kind of funny because, you had those YouTubers earlier in 2020 saying things like, Disney's worried about the ratings for Mandalorian Season 2. Well, now it's clear that The Mandalorian is more popular than ever. I mean, this is a great and astounding number for the show, and it really drives home the message that Disney Plus is a good place for streaming if you're going for original content. I've had my problems with Disney Plus when it comes to the format of it. There's some pros and cons to it. I don't like how you can't really watch the ending credits for more than 2 seconds without it kind of skipping to the next episode. Netflix does the same thing, but what this means is that there's competition in the market. And with that competition means more original shows that will rival each other in terms of quality, and it's clear that The Mandalorian is topping it all, because the shows that it beat, a lot of them were not new shows. I mean, The Office is not a new show. That's been done for quite some time now. And Grey's Anatomy, is that still going? Is that still a thing? If it is, who cares? None of us watch Grey's Anatomy. If you do, you should do something better with your life. But a lot of these shows, like Criminal Minds, has been going on for almost 20-odd years. These shows are not new. The Mandalorian is only on its 2nd season. It's only about 2 years old, and it only does 8 episodes per season. So the fact that it is #1 in the Nielsen ratings is astounding. I mean, that is something that has not been done for quite some time, and it shows that this series has brought Star Wars to new heights of fame in this new era of the streaming wars. And it also means that Disney has a good foothold in the streaming wars and could arguably be in 2nd, maybe even 3rd place. #1 is clearly Netflix. I don't love Netflix to death, but #1's Netflix, and it seems like number 2 or 3 is going to be Disney Plus. I know maybe they're not everyone's favorite. I personally love HBO Max. Shout out to them, just because they got South Park, they got Rick and Morty, they got a lot of DC stuff, and Snyder's Cut's coming out. But anyways, we're talking about Star Wars here. Star Wars only. Come on. My point is, The Mandalorian is doing something a lot of us wish we would have seen with the Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels when it was on Disney XD, maybe even the Star Wars sequels, and you could say Resistance, even though that was not meant to be prime time like The Mandalorian. This just brings Star Wars a lot more fans. There are people who have never seen a Star Wars movie who know about The Mandalorian. This is another culture phenomenon, if you will. Grogu, or Baby Yoda, was a big deal. He was a big hit, and that may have been a big part on why this series was so successful. But also, the fact that Season 2 has done better than Season 1 in terms of ratings means it's retaining the audience, and the audience is growing in size. I argue that Season 2 was far better than Season 1, and I loved Season 1. I think Season 1 I gave maybe 2 episodes, 10 out of 10s, and I don't really pass that number around a lot because that means it's perfect to me, and there's not a lot of perfect shows or perfect movies in my life, but The Mandalorian has done that with Season 1, and Season 2 had more than just 2 perfect episodes. Season 2 was amazing. Season 2 raised the stakes, raised the emotions, raised the story, and also raised the character development and the amount of characters we have seen and where the story is going to go. Now we have spin-offs from Season 2, like the Ahsoka Tano series, like the Book of Boba Fett, like Rangers of the New Republic. Mandalorian has launched a brand new era in Star Wars, and the fact that it is rated so high right now is really good news for the franchise and the future of Star Wars. The narrative that Star Wars is dead may have been relevant in 2018 or 2017, and I probably wouldn't have agreed with you in terms of the future of the franchise, but I would have agreed with you in the terms of the story that we were developing at that time. Now though, you cannot say Star Wars is dead. If you say that, you're either an idiot or you're ignorant and do not want to admit the truth. Star Wars is not dead. It's more alive than ever. And also, I do have to say, I was trying to get the Nielsen ratings for my Star Wars After George Lucas documentary. You guys should check that out if you haven't. I was going to get it to compare the Clone Wars versus Rebels over every single season. You know how much they said they were going to charge me for that? $1,500. Alright, so don't know why that would have cost them so much. Take a dime out of my pocket like that, but you know, when you're in college, $1,500 on something like ratings is not easy. So Nielsen, they're great at what they do, but just gonna point out that they're expensive. So, but comment your thoughts below. What do you guys think about The Mandalorian being #1 in the Nielsen ratings? Do you think this is great news for the franchise? Do you think this means Season 3 is going to see similar numbers? Does this add to the streaming wars and make it seem like Disney Plus has a really strong footing in that and maybe could beat Netflix in the future? I would love to hear your thoughts below. Comment your thoughts on what the Ahsoka Tano series is going to do, Book of Boba Fett, and Rangers of the New Republic. Are we going to see similar numbers? Is Disney Plus now the new future for streaming wars? Tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe because it does help out the channel. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.